Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. And be comfortable yourself and relax your body. So once we get connected with our other students, we're ready to start the session for today. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. And gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand how this practice will help for us to develop our spiritual path. And at the same time, how you can use these teachings for your day-to-day life. Because spiritual path is not separated from our conventional world. But at the same time, the way you maintain your conventional life effect for your spiritual success. So when it comes to our life, most of time we try to think about our own future and try to create ideas and build our future on the top of that ideas. For that, there is so much value in this world which we call creativity. So the creativity is one of the magical strength that we have in us. No any other animals have this. So that is kind of like a blessings for all the humanity. So if you look carefully that, oh, this everything around us came to us as a result of creativity. So the creativity depend on imagination. So the imagination depend on needs, feelings. Needs and feelings depend on past experience. So the past experience, which you call the memory. So the past experience depend on repetition. See that it's kind of like a circle. Your creativity come out of imagination. Imagination come out of the feelings and the emotions. And it depend on the memory. And the memory depend on the history and it depend on repetition. So even though it depend on each other, it always become advanced. Because of that, what happens, we are mesmerized from it again and again and again. That is what we get the kind of like a pleasure out of, the kind of like a satisfaction out of this living. But at the same time, we have to remember this everything has its own nature to disappear. Why? Because it's a result of something. This is very important to understand. This is a very result of something. It is not any kind of independent, permanent, unchangeable creation. So then, this all depends on the mind, and at the same time, even though there is an outside world, when it comes to our personal life, what the Buddha mentioned, the mind is the Purana. The mind is the creator. The mind is the chief. The mind is the boss. But in day-to-day life, we don't take it like that. So whatever your happiness, unhappiness, sadness, worry, disappointment, pain, and pleasure, this everything, we take as something exists outside. but it is a very result of your mind. You become happy. And of course, you become happy out of outside perception, outside object, but still before you get into that, it start in the middle of your mind. That's why the mind is the forerunner. So then look around, that whatever we have, whatever we reward in the world, we try to take it as something exists in the outside world, but it is a very reflection, reaction of our own mind. That doesn't mean there is no outside world. Of course, there is an outside world, but what you experience out of that outside world depend on your mind. So you have to think it little by little, slowly, and it takes time to digest it. So whatever the happiness, whatever the satisfaction, whatever the sadness, worry, disappointment, how it possible? It is our mind. Because we are able to reasoning and comparison with this world and depend on it. That's why you have to have the introspection. You have to have the ability to look into you. You have to have the ability to see the condition of the mind without becoming biased to outside world. So when it comes to that, the spiritual development means you're not going to resist or you're not going to withdraw from the outside world, but still you are not going to hold it. Let it be as it is. But look into yourself, and little by little, little by little. So that's why we need practice. So when it comes to practice, you have to remember, just doing one time per month like that, it's not going to work most of time. Because there are some people, they have kind of like a previous muscle memory in their body. So for them, maybe it effect, but for most of us, once a while practicing not enough. I give you a very simple example for that. Just imagine you are thirsty and just drinking sip of water not going to quench your thirst. Maybe when you going to have shower, of course, you may have experience that you wash your body with the taking the water from a bucket. You go to the well and you take the water from the bucket and put it to you. So nowadays we just go and open the tap. But just imagine you go to the well and you take a bucket of water and put it to you. So one bucket of water, it's not going to make you feel kind of like a cool. It's not going to take your body heat out. It's not going to make you kind of like a change. But imagine you keep pouring water again and again and again and again. What will happen? Within few minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, your body start to cool down. You start to feel change. So like that, when you want to purify the mind, when you want to understand something, just doing one time not going to enough for us. So then again and again, you have to keep doing it for a while. And then you can start to feel the change. So when it comes to our primary mental object, we take our inhalation and exhalation. So when it comes to inhalation and exhalation, that is one of the most comfortable, effective mental object that we can observe. It's not belong to any dogmas. It not belong to any theories. It not belongs to any principles. It not belongs to any philosophy. It's not biased to anything. It's the very natural rhythm of your body. That is the only language that can understand by your entire nerve system and your brain. And you don't need to believe anything. So you don't need to trust anything beyond you. Only thing is you have to have very clear mind. And you have to have some kind of self-discipline and determination, effort, energy to be with your breathing. When you be with your breathing, you have to remember always the very first principle, you have to follow your posture. For other meditation techniques, it may not go into that much value, the posture. But if you practice the breathing meditation, which we call the Anapanasati, contemplate on inhalation and exhalation. So the very first thing, you have to get the right posture. So then always remember your breathing, your body, your mind has a deeper interconnection. So the knowingly or unknowingly, most of people, sometimes because we focus to in front of our nose and upper lip area, our mind, to see the inhalation, exhalation. And it's kind of like even though you close your eyes, deeper inside your eyes, if you are trying to watch, and if you are trying to bring the energy towards the in front of your nose and upper lip area, you will get tired by the time. Then maybe you get headache and this whole nerve system start to get tired, tight. And then by the time you will get disappointed and maybe you give up your practice. So those are very basic, simple principles, but it is very effective. So then rather than bringing too much attention towards the inhalation, exhalation here, just simply settle down, allow your whole body to settle down. Mentally, you be centered. You are not focusing your mind through your eye or ears. You are just be aware about the sensation. Listen this very carefully. You be aware about it. It's kind of like you are centered here. Now, without pondering through your mind, simply you observe. When you put the attention, what happens sometimes? Where your eyes go, your body follow that. Your energy start to go with it. That's why it says, when you drive, don't look here and there. Why? Because if you keep watching somewhere without looking straight, knowingly or unknowingly, your hands start to follow your eyes. Your body, your energy start to follow your eyes. Then you get hit. So you keep straight. So like that, always you have to remember, if you put the attention towards the inhalation, exhalation here, what happens? Your body start to go towards that. And then it's like this. So your upper body like this. And then by the time your upper body start to get crooked, your head start to get down, your shoulders move forward. So like that. You may feel comfortable, but you cannot get the right result out of practice. So always remember to keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and shoulder back. And open your chest and give a good posture. Keep good posture. That's very necessary. Whoever practice this meditation technique. And sometimes people say, oh, the posture is no need. Oh, we can do in any posture. But of course, if you are well trained person, you can do that. But your posture play a big role. So as example, just imagine you get into a new vehicle. Before you drive, the very first thing you do, you adjust your seat to make it comfortable for you. So like that, try to work with your posture. And then putting the attention. So rather than start to look towards the inhalation, exhalation, you be aware about it. It's two different things. Rather than mentally watching inhalation, exhalation, you mentally settle down. You don't put too much energy towards the breathing, but you aware about inhalation, exhalation. And once you settle down, sometimes you feel comfortable and sometimes that comfort disappears. So then you have to call back that memory, that whatever the posture, the place that you felt comfortable. So it's kind of like if somebody hit that, shoot an arrow holding a certain posture, legs and the shoulders, and his balance. So maybe he get the right target 100%. And then he shoot the arrow. So when he shoot the second one, he has muscle memory to go back to that right posture to get the right angle. So once the body come to that previous angle with the legs, the shoulders, the strength, the balance, then she capable to get the right target. So like that, always remember yourself in certain postures, in certain levels sometimes, your awareness become more clear, sharp, comfortable. But sometimes it suddenly can disappear. So then go back to that previous posture and start work with it little bit. And other thing is, once you start to observe inhalation, exhalation, maybe your head start to move, like maybe move forward or maybe start to go up. And because of that, the sensations start to change. And then what happened, once the sensation change, it's deeply, very sharp. What happened, your imagination always waiting to hijack your awareness. Remember that. And then maybe your imagination is there and you imagine about the breathing, but you think you aware about the breathing. No, it's your imagination. So then you have to work with it. And once you come to that, you recognize inhalation, exhalation separately. And some inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. And according to inhalation, exhalation, the body change, the mind change. So then deeply you can observe it. And then by the time, if you're little bit aware about that, all the change and the process that you go through, this all happen as a result of 4 elements: heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So whatever you experience as a inhalation or exhalation, longer inhalation or shorter inhalation, heavy, soft, warm, cold, this anything is a result of 4 elements. And other thing is, this is the beauty. So sometimes you start to observe inhalation, exhalation. If the mind is so tight, you may not going to recognize the sensation of it. And then you calm down your mind a little bit. So what does that mean? That means in your mind, hardness is strong. That's why you are not capable to see the sensation. So then you release the hardness and you uplift little bit the motion. So it gives little bit flexibility to your mind. And then the mind change in that way. What happens, that what you experience as inhalation, exhalation change. So I want to take you to a little bit deeper here. Try to understand it very carefully. So when you hear the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness, it looks like it is something in this outside world, as a material, as a kind of like a qualities. Actually, this heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness is the very condition of our mind. When the mind is hard, you may get angry, mad, disappointed, and at the same time, you become more strong, courageous. And when the mind becomes very soft, and sometimes you feel sleepy, lethargic. And when the motion is strong, the mind is so busy and you cannot focus to anything. And when the mind come to kind of like a liquidity, and the names and forms cannot kind of like follow a structure, it's kind of like becoming a mess. So like that, this heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness governs your mind. all your mental qualities come out of the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. Actually, that is how we understand the world. So as example, when you see this piece of wood, that just seeing it, you are capable to understand the strength of it, kind of like how strong it is. So now you can see this paper and this piece of wood, which one is stronger. So just seeing it, you are capable to understand it, and even without touching it. How you can do that? How you can understand the piece of wood is strong and this piece of paper is more soft than the wood? Because your mind always read the language of these four elements. That is the only language that mind can communicate with this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. That's the only language. That is the language it talks to your consciousness. Eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness. Just imagine somebody meet you and then that person tell about the weather. You know what happened that last week it was so hot. So how you understand what is the meaning of hot? So your mind understand it because that it has ability to read the language of these four elements. So when you mean hot, what does that mean? The heat is so strong. So then that person cannot experience the heat now, or maybe you talk over the phone, or maybe that person in, just imagine that person in Iceland, and you are here, and you are calling to that person and telling, hey, my friend here so hot. So that you experience the heat. So that person from there, that person say, my friend here very cold. So how you understand what that person mean? How that person understand what you mean? That can understand by the ability of this, using this four element, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So if you look very carefully, so whatever you feel and whatever you express as ideas, whatever come out of your consciousness, it come out of the consciousness based with the four elements. So then how you can get into a meditation level and use it to yourself to become more better person? So whatever the condition in your mind, always remember, it is not something that outside exists as it is. It is the very condition of your four elements inside your mind. It has many reasons, because of the repetition, because of the historical background, or because whatever you like or dislike, this everything come together and create these feelings in you. But whatever these conditions happen in your mind, maybe you feel relaxed, comfortable, that also a result of four elements. Maybe you feel disappointment, unhappy, sad. That also result of 4 elements. So then whatever the feelings that you go through, whatever come to your mind as ideas or thoughts in a deeper level, in a conventional level, we use that ideas, feelings, thoughts to represent our self, our identity. But in deeper level, remember yourself. Mentally, you can use it inside you. So whatever the mental conditions, the feelings arise in you, just know it's belong to 4 elements. Watch a little bit. You will see it go away itself. It's like clouds. It is there. You can see it, but it look like something, but by the time itself, it become different. So like that yourself, whatever the thoughts arise in you, whatever the feelings come to you, whatever the happiness, joy, pleasure, satisfaction, anger, hatred, jealousy, unpleasant, sadness, worry, disappointment, fear. So any feelings come to you, rather than holding it, oh, this is me, I am happy, I am sad, I am worried, rather than giving identity to that feelings, just let it be. And let the body to calm down and relax and just keep observe a little bit. Then you will see that thought itself go away. Once you know this is the result of 4 elements, this is not me, this is the result of 4 elements, you are capable to recognize which element is strong. Like when it comes to anger, the hardness, maybe the heat may be up. So as you know, when the heat is up, what happens? You get mad and you become stronger. The lust always depend on the heat. That is the major one of the life force. Burning process. Burning process. So when there is a desire in you, you say, I'm burning. When you want to get something, and you kind of like you can't sleep, you can't eat, you are somehow try to get it. You are burning inside. So the heat is up. So in that very level, rather than taking that nature as me, if you recognize this is the element of heat, and you uplift little bit motion or the liquidity, and you bring the calmness. You observe the kind of like an ocean. You observe the cloud, you observe the wind. And then that hardness slowly go away, that heat slowly go away. So as you know, there is no any fire can go against the water. Whatever strong the fire, when it meet the water, it cool down. So like that, what happened when the fire arises in us, what we do, we hold that fire and we name that fire and we own that fire, and we are trying to gain something from outside and try to satisfy. Maybe you are inviting, listen this very carefully, maybe you are in fire and you want to find the satisfaction, and maybe you are inviting, you are holding, you are grasping to the fire. Be careful. You burn, and then to find the satisfaction, you hug the fire, and then, your burning process going to become more and more and more. That is what this desire does. So wisdom means then, you have to have the wisdom then. When your fire high, when your hardness high, don't invite for the hardness. When your hardness high, if you try to get the hardness more and more and more, you lose your flexibility, and then you become very uncomfortable by the time deeply inside. And then when the heat is up, and if you are getting more and more the heat from the outside, what happened? You start to create a hell inside you. You are burning. I don't know where the hell, but this is a kind of like a hell that we can create within us. And then just imagine, your fire is so high and low, so lust, the greed, anger, you are burning with that all. And then you become friend with the angry person, the greedy person. Then what will happen? So that's why you have to know the art of balancing these four elements. So the meditation, when it comes to the deeper vipassana level, that is one thing that you can exercise yourself. And even the water, the coolness inside you, the formless nature inside you, when it becomes stronger, you become so lethargic. It's kind of like you cannot have a structure. So then when you become lethargic, it takes you to laziness. And then when you become lethargic, the power of water, when you become too cold, it takes you to ignorance, sleeping mood. And then maybe that cold invite more and more and more cold from outside. So as example, wherever the water in this world, any drop of water has a deeper connections with the ocean. Even it is far away from the ocean. 100 miles away, if you put a drop of water in the desert land, in the middle of the desert, that drop of water knows where the ocean is, the connection. So like that, when you are lethargic, your lazy nature knows how to get the laziness. It has a very magnet at the nature to find it. So then if you have the lethargic laziness, so what you need to do? You have to strengthen yourself. You have to lift the ability of the fire or the hardness. That element, you have to work with it. And the liquidity and the motion. So the motion take you to ignorance, laziness. You become more slow down. And as you know, this all the joints work. Your mobility bring the abilities. So how all the joints work? It all has the air deeper inside with all the muscles, the breathing system, your lungs has a different breathing system. Your abdominal area has a different breathing system. Your blood circular system has a very different breathing system. Your joints has a completely different way to handle the air. And the muscles itself has a very different kind of breathing system. But this all connect to the air, nature of air. So what happened if the element of air is so high, what happens? And it kind of like you cannot stay in one place. You are always moving, shaking. And you cannot focus to something. Your mind always kind of like a wind, like a flag, moving, 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 moving. So then what you need to do? So just imagine if there is a flag, no strength, and then you make a very strong, kind of like a fabric flag, what will happen to that flag? And it start to give a different shape. So like that, always try to understand whatever the nature that you go through is not you. Don't try to put a name on it. Don't give an identity as this is me. It is the nature of, it is the language of, it is the representation of 4 elements. There are some other elements, but basically the main. Try to understand this mechanism with this 4. Heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. And then work with it. Whatever understand, whatever observe the very nature of the conditioned body and mind, observe it. Don't give an identity to that. Just recognize it is the nature of 4 element and work with it. So don't use the name of I. I feel lazy. I feel tired. I feel hungry. Of course, in the conventional level, we have to use it. But mentally yourself, you should not mean that I means this I am, self-centered mind. Conventionally, everybody use the identity, use it. Don't hold it to it. Like you go to beach with your children. You play with them building sand castles. And the very next waves come and hit that, destroy it. You're not going to cry for that. And maybe you pretend like you are crying to empathize or sympathize the children. But that doesn't mean you, because you know it's a sand castle. So like that, when you practice, of course, in the conventional level, we have to use I, me, my, like that. But don't hold it to it. Because it doesn't have any meaning deeply. It's a representation of 4 elements. And again and again, again and again, try to go deeper into it and try to separately understand it. Then you will see what I mean here. So you have to have a deeper, tranquilized mind to see this. And once you understand it, you're not going to hold any feelings as you. You're not going to react to any feelings as you. Even the happiness, even the calmness, even the tranquility state, even the joy, even the pleasure, you don't claim it as you. You recognize it. It's a result of 4 elements. Even the anger, even the jealousy, hatred, fear, you're not going to represent, hold it and put the identity on it and recognize it as me. And it's a very result of 4 elements. And once you work with that, you can use it for other people. So when someone gets angry, you're not going to put the identity on that person and try to react to that person. Because now you know deeply the mental behavior and the very psychology of the very mechanism of the person, and you know it is the result of four elements. Maybe that person angry because of the heat is so high. So the heat element, fire element is so high. Or maybe that person so angry, maybe that hardness is so high. So then what you do? You try to make it cool down a little bit. And then it will go away. You know that basically when somebody get angry and somebody get mad, and sometimes you say, cool down, cool down. What does that mean? That means this, see, that you had this wisdom. And when somebody get hard and, the strong, you say, relax, relax. What does that mean? You know, when that person relax, their mindset change. When the angry person cool down, you know that minds change. That's why you say, cool down. And when somebody get mad, angry, if you want to get something and you say, we'll go and talk later. When she or he cool down, we'll talk about it. What does that mean then? That's mean when the person cool down, it changed the very nature of understanding or the nature of the mind. So then use it to yourself. And then you can get a lot of benefit in day-to-day life. Because we are struggling, we have the pain, we suffering because we give a name to this four element as I am. We are trying to get this, hold this and keep it as I am, me, like that. That is the struggle. But once you know this all, and then when it comes to the four elements, if you go a little bit more deeper, why it behave like that, why it happen like that, because of the causation, cause and conditions. Nothing exists itself independently. There is nothing concrete in this world. This everything depends, and especially this everything energy. The nature of the energy is the flow. So then everything has a deeper connection each other, cause and effect. So once you understand that, you are capable to go more deeper, deeper, deeper and watch the very beginning of this. And that is what called Yoniso Manasikara. So the Yoniso Manasikara means another way clear comprehension. Yoni means beginning point. So Manasikara, you have the awareness, you have the ability to contemplate, you have the ability to focus to the beginning point. But what happened in day-to-day life? We are not even looking to beginning point. We are just struggling with the outcome. We mostly don't know the beginning point. Look, when the situation comes, sometimes in a court, the hearing keep going many, many years to find out the very beginning point. It covered with a lot of informations. So in day-to-day life, as ordinary people, we have no idea about looking for a beginning point. So if anybody have the intention to looking for a beginning point, that is the person who keep looking for the truth. That is what called King Satchagavesi. What is the truth? Because nowadays in the world, most of people don't want to find the truth. Everybody is so crazy for power. Everybody like for power. From childhood, we train to gain power, become powerful, not to become truthful. So if you look for the truth, you always go for the beginning point. But we don't care about it. We want to gain more and more and more powerful within many ways. We try to overtake, we try to overcome with the outside things, and then we overflow with informations. We are not satisfied with anything. We are not look for the beginning point or the truth. So the Dharma means you are looking for beginning point. So where it begin? Mind is the forerunner. Mind is the chief. The mind is the creator. So the beginning point is nothing but your own mind. Even to understand it, digest it, maybe you need some strength, because we always look this outside. But try to have a little bit time yourself. Take some time yourself and observe a little bit. And look that whatever you go through, don't look reason from outside. It's all here inside you. And even it is not on to yourself. It is just the result of 4 elements. So you recognize it is inside you, but still you are not going to even hold it to that. You let go that also. So once you have that ability, you become free from freedom. Once the day you become free from freedom, no fear, no struggle. You don't look for anything. You don't want to become for anything. Because you are not prisoner to freedom. You don't afraid to lose your freedom. And when the day comes for you to not to afraid to lose your freedom, you become really free. So that's a kind of like something you have to eat twice to understand it and digest it. So take time, but still it's worth doing. Just try to think about it a little bit and spend some time to understand about it. Okay. So with that, let's practice a little bit. So keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens, just recognize it. Also, as I mentioned, so whatever you experience, whatever the change happens, it happens as a result of 4 elements. So contemplate on it. Do nothing extra. Bring my attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipattiya Buddhang Pujemi Dhammang Pujemi Sanghang Pujemi Attaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadi Maranam Paribunjissami Idamme Punya Kammang Asavakkaya Vahang Hotu Sabba Dukkha Pamuntatu. Bless you.